Hello, hello.
Hello.
Your
Oh
look is much
my
more
goodness. Oh
muted
my
than
goodness. Oh
mine.
my goodness. What'd you say?
I said your look is much more muted than mine.
Am I muted again?
No, no, no. Your look is muted. It is. Never mind.
Oh.
Please continue.
Mm-hmm. Uh I'd say I'm just a different tone. Um you are obviously a oranger type.
Orangers.
I'm a little bit I am a little bit of a yellow.
Mm,
Uh uh-huh. Not all gourds can look alike.
that's true.
Anyway, welcome back to Let's Have a Whoa, I said let's have a Fifi. I already
Ooh.
promised that I would mess this up. You're welcome.
We knew that was going to happen at some point. It's
I'm
okay.
surprised it didn't happen last episode. It's
And
great.
cut and action.
Welcome to Live with Fifi and Freddy. Oh my god. Um just simple things that just wreck your whole life. I'm just kidding. Um we're pretty matchy matchy. I don't um I'm a little bit on the lighter side, which I have never said in my whole entire life.
Where
Anyway,
the hell did I go?
I I have no idea. But welcome to the internet. Uh,
Thank you.
this is how our life is going. Anyway, I'm Felicia Fifi
Uh,
Minor, and
and
over there
I
disappearing and
am
going
Freddie
back
Prince
up.
Charming, who is not technically a gourd. I'm technically a scarecrow with gourd like
Features.
features. Thank you. It's fine. It's been a week. It's
Anyway,
fine. We're good.
today we have a pack show lined up for you, and we're going to be talking about. I turned 40. Not a big deal. But for some people, they have found the reason to tell me that I'm old. But yeah, right. And but other people don't like it either. But also Phoenix Pride weekend, recap on that, and so much more. But before we get started, you want the VIP treatment? Do you? Do you? Because I got some news. You can get exclusive content on our Patreon at patreon.com/live with Fifi and Freddy. See, I said it right
Yes.
there.
Good.
And then,
Uh,
uh, but something that I was in there playing around last night, and I realized that, like, once you sign up, that they've changed some things that you can have different tiers of merchandise go out. So,
ooh.
uh, while I was in there playing, some of you may have gotten an email that said, like, "This is available," and then I took it away. So I'm sorry because I didn't know what I was doing. But, um but since I finalized
Wow.
it,
Sorry about that,
uh,
y'all.
you're welcome. But it told me it was gonna do that. But and then, so now, when you join with the $5 tier, which is what we call the closer look membership, you get a sticker after 3 months of being a member. Now, here's where the value comes in:
We like a
is
value.
we yeah, like I think this is the best deal ever because when you join the deeper plunge or the G spot for 15 or $25, you get a sticker, a mug, a t-shirt,
Ooh.
and a tote bag.
Oh.
And that's over the course of the year that you're in the membership.
Oh.
So it's
Oh my.
more of like, like you stay in it, you get more stuff, Fiat.
Right. No, that's like
Mhm.
it's like different memberships for like things. You stay and you get different perks and
Mhm.
right. No, I get it. It's exciting.
And then so I think with the new merch and the loyalty program, it'll send you an email alert to let you know that we've changed the things in the tiers. And I have reached out to some of you to let me know if you actually get stuff. What I will say is that I noticed that we have some people that are on the free tier. Um, I would say lately we have not been posting anything for the free tier. Um, and you probably have been not getting things like right away because most of it is for the closer look, or there's some things for just the tip, but most of it has been for the closer look and up. So, and
Correct.
most people have the
I did
closer look
post,
membership.
I did post our first after show,
Uh
of the
huh.
season. I did post that for everybody, but going forward, those will be pretty much only available for the closer looking up.
Yeah. And so things like that, like we plan on doing more stuff. We have stuff that, like maybe we don't share like about our personal life that maybe we put up there. Uh, some of the news recaps, some of the stuff that we find important might be up there. So more and more content will be up there that you will not see on Facebook, that you won't see on anywhere else that you follow us. So we do post stuff that eventually, like we do the get ready with me kind of thing, and then we do post them publicly. But for the most part, we have a lot of content that has not gone public yet. So miss out, miss out. But we'd like to thank our patrons, Brandon, Cassandra, Chris, and Michelle, Dee, Drake Jensen, and Michael, Casey Starr, Carrie and Corey, Kim, Joan, Leanne, Madam Askew, and the Grand Arbiter, Nicole, Patricia Mason, Shannon, and William. Yes, and a big, huge thank you to Wigs of a Kind. This is a Wigs of a Kind wig that probably just needs to be set back.
This is not.
Uh, Gosh, I forget how long ago I got this one. Uh, but I was telling someone tonight that I have had this one for a while, and I feel like I only wear it once a year. Um,
Probably. I think I only ever see you wear it like during Halloween if you do like a pumpkin look or something. I don't generally see.
so here she is. You're welcome, and she will go back in her
I think it's
little,
because you just don't have a lot of orange that you wear. I think if you had more orange, I think you would wear it more, but I don't think you
or
have
I would
like
ask for a variation of orange because
right.
this one would probably get worn out real quick. But anyhow, so, and a massive thank you to Laura Renfro for the incredible support this season and last season. Message us to find out how you can support our show, or you can, I'll just put it up on the screen since I already messed up and said the
It's
previous name
fine.
already.
It's
It's on the
fine.
screen. You can
It's
support
fine.
us at paypal.me/let's have a fifi. And don't forget that you can text LIVE to 602 730-7379. I did not set up a text alert for this week's show. I'm a horrible person, but you're welcome. You're here anyway. Join them. We thank you anyway, however you got here. And if you're watching on Facebook, uh, thank you. Uh, is it working tonight?
No.
Oh, I don't
That's
know
why
what that is.
I did post on our page in the group and then I shared it, that you can go to the page and click watch now and it'll take you to YouTube. Um, I don't know. I'll show you after what I discovered. But no, it is not currently working on Facebook
It should
because
be. Damn
oh,
it.
is it working now? Hang on. Oh, maybe it's
It
working
says
now.
there's like a huge
Okay.
live button right there.
It wasn't working before.
And there we are
Okay, awesome.
at the
Because it
top.
literally was not working before.
Oh
So
my God, you
there's
freaked me out. Don't do that. Don't
it's
do it.
fine. It's fine. Fine. It's fine.
Everything's broken.
And-
Anyway.
Ah,
Appreciate you guys anyway. So if you're on Facebook, you can support us there. Um, if not, I think that YouTube has like super likes or something silliness that you could support us there too. Um, but anyhow, how was your weekend?
busy. You you know, it's one of those things. You're at that age where you start doing shit and then you pull muscles and people are like, how'd you hurt yourself? And it's like, oh, the usual, moving like three giant St. Christopher crosses, spanking benches, the
I,
norm. Um,
I'm sorry.
so I spent a good chunk of my weekend at Phoenix Pride, in nifty little bubble of the erotic world, which I was fine with. Um, I was there from like 11 to 3 on Saturday, and then from 11 until I think like almost 9:30.
I have
Um,
visuals.
there we go. Um, um, it
Oh, but
was
you
it
can't
was
see the
great
picture.
though. I know. Look at
Yeah.
that. Um, it was good. It was not incredibly hot, which was lovely. And then when it was a little bit warmer on Sunday, it was nice because our tent was air conditioned, so I could just pop into the AC. Um, but on Saturday, I basically left Pride and ran from there straight to rehearsal, and then I was there until like almost 9. Um, and then had to turn around and go back to Pride the
Wow.
next morning. So it was a very long weekend. I did
Yeah.
manage to pull my back out. Like I didn't. It took about a day to really kind of set in. Like I woke up on Monday and I was like, oh, my back is kind of sore, but it's just I figured it's just because I was on my feet all day and doing stuff. Tuesday, I could barely move. Yesterday was not like I was on the struggle bus. It was not okay. I was dying, and it was literally like ibuprofen, ice packs, my little massager thingy, sitting in the hot tub. Like it was. Mm, yeah, it was.
Did you
It was
massage your feet?
no.
So, as a fellow person that likes to injure themselves, I have found that lower back pain is a big like offshooting of foot pain, which is
Oh
so weird to explain. But
no, it makes sense. A
all
lot
in
of things
all,
are connected to the feet, but also my feet don't hurt,
uh,
which is weird.
your feet don't have to hurt. It's like somebody correct me if
Well,
I'm wrong, but I think it's called like a reference of pain. Like it sends the pain somewhere
my
else.
partner was not rubbing my feet, so
How dare they?
I know. It was extraordinarily rude.
I'll explain it.
Extraordinarily rude.
I learned
Um,
all kinds of stuff after I injured my foot that affects your back. It's so interesting.
but it was, I mean, it was a good weekend. It was busy. Um, it's weird. Like I'm busy this month, but only some of it is actually like drag
You almost
related. A
sound
lot
like
of
you
it is
can't believe it.
not.
You sound like you
Um,
can't believe it.
well, I'm okay. To be fair, uh most of what I'm busy doing between like rehearsals and like Pride and stuff, I'm not getting paid for it, you know what I mean? So I'm just doing it.
Oh,
um so but it's fine. um it's fine. It's
it's
fine.
all fine.
It's Everything is fine. Everything is fine. So while I theoretically didn't do much this weekend, but I was glad that I was over in erotic world. Because I
Where
didn't have to
was that?
deal with like it was great actually. There were some really cool
No, where?
vendors. Oh, where? It was right next to the Latin stage.
Oh,
The place where you didn't come and say hi even though you were at Pride.
yeah. I did not
Mm,
go over there.
no, I know.
We were on a
It's
dance floor, but it was not the Latin stage.
We were in
I got
between
sidetracked
the
to buy the
dance
lemonade.
stage and the Latin stage. There was that area that was kind of like fenced and stuff right there in between the two dance stages. That's where I was. I was literally in between
Did
the
not.
two dance stages, dance areas. But it's fine. Um, but no, it was good. We had a great crew. It was pretty chill for the most part. There were performances happening. There was some burlesque. There were some demos. Phoenix Boys of Leather were out there doing demos. Like a bunch of them brought various accoutrements from floggers to paddles to all sorts of stuff, and it was really cool because they were. The primary goal was to kind of introduce folks to like different like kink elements and stuff, and there were a lot of people that were like, oh no, I don't and they're like, well, have you ever tried this? Oh no, I would never. And they're like, well, you could. And a lot of people were like, all right, let me try some of this. And they're like, oh, actually that wasn't as bad as I thought. Yeah. Yeah, you haven't like you have these
Mm.
preconceived notions, and they were kind of breaking some of that down, which was kind of cool. um but the only thing that I could not watch that was happening inside the tent was the hook suspension. I can handle a lot of shit. I cannot handle the hooks through the back and then
I feel
being.
like we've been in a show together. We've been in a
We might
show
have.
together
I've
where
never watched it.
and we
I
have a
not.
friend in common that does that.
Oh no, I know a lot of people that do it. I knew the people that were doing it there. I cannot watch it.
You've never watched them.
I've watched some of it, and that's when I determined that I could not watch it. So if
Oh.
there's ever right, so if there's suspension in a show, I will not watch it because I can't. It makes me bleh. um yeah, it's
Interesting.
yeah,
Out
I
of
can't
all
do
the
it.
things.
I can't do the hooks through the skin and then the pulling up while the hooks are in the skin. I can't. It makes me squeamish. So that's not happening.
Well, I
No,
can barely get a needle, so
no.
on with your life.
How was your weekend? Your weekend was busier than mine.
Um,
Even though you
I
didn't come
wouldn't
say
say
hi.
I didn't know that, 'cause I is it usually way over there?
Uh-huh.
Well, that and I had a mini troop of people that probably would not have gone in with me. I have one that is of age that definitely would not have gone in with me.
So you leave them
Um,
outside while you come say hi.
I didn't know where it was, but anyhow, nevertheless, so
Only there
I
was like a
turned 40
method of
this weekend.
communication where you could have like sent me a message or something. Like, hey,
Um,
the thing. And then I could have like if
I didn't think about it.
only,
I
if
was
only.
chill. If only there was a way I could have communicated to you.
Mm.
But uh, all in all, I turned 40 this weekend, but it was like I didn't plan anything and almost like everything fell into place. Eh. Um, so, oh, thanks. My Dairy Queen is in the freezer for all that needed to know that. Thank you.
Thanks,
I'm glad
Scotty.
that Facebook is working.
Right.
So it was my birthday weekend. I didn't really have any to dos or what I really wanted to do because like some birthdays, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna, go here, go there. I was actually okay with not really doing anything, but then things just started to happen. First and foremost, um, especially since he's on the line, um, my husband got me tickets to Mariah Carey Christmas concert um, on November 15th.
It's fine.
Um,
I found
and
another co-host for Drag Bingo.
yes,
I
which would have been
don't
the same
need
night as
you.
our drag bingo. Watch how you say that. Your name is on the moniker. Uh, and I am not doing this stuff over. Anyway, um, just cross it out. Um, and yes, Facebook is working. I love how we're all discovering things. Love it. And then in the same breath and token, I won tickets for Phoenix Cat Cafe to go to Phoenix Pride. And then that's how oddly in a circle that Freddie found out through somebody else that I was like, "Oh, shoot, I need to reschedule," or not reschedule, but find another host. And then you took care of it. So that was I was like, "Wow, the power of communication." But all in all, on Thursday, I did therapy. That was like and I feel like I did one thing a day, which didn't need, like I feel like when you, like, do it all, you're, like, exhausted by the end of the weekend and then, like, celebrating yourself, as silly as that sounds. But, so then Friday night, I got a massage, and then on Saturday oh, wait, I didn't use my visual cues. Look at this. Uh, and then on Saturday, I got my nails done.
You
Um,
never take any of my suggestions. It's
listen,
just rude.
listen. I
Mm.
knew you were gonna say that. The cupcakes is a little expensive. You see this? This is within my budget. We we are not making like cupcake nails money yet.
I feel like for your birthday,
Mhm.
your husband could have contributed to that.
He did. He
Just
paid for my nails within my budget.
saying.
Within my budget. These are pretty nice. These are pretty nice. They are pretty nice. And then we went to Phoenix Pride where I neglected Freddie yet again, as you can
Well,
clearly
look,
see here. You're
all
welcome.
those fucking
Uh,
pictures and not a single one with me.
wait, look, see? There you are.
No, 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 no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Fine.
And I found a smart way. We, on accident, found a smart way to watch the parade, the Phoenix Pride Parade. Uh, we went to Wendy's. If you get overall how busy it can be in there, we sat
Yes.
in there and ate and watched the parade along with the parade of people, which could be interesting down there. But we basically watched the end of the parade as it like went in front of Wendy's. And I was like, this is pretty much the same thing when you stand in the middle of the street. But it was air conditioned. We ate. And so if you're looking for a smarter way to watch the parade next year, um, don't take my spot. But, you know, we did it. We did it. But all in all, and I just got back from drag bingo at Drink Me Tea Room. So it's been busy, but not your type of busy. Which is odd because I'm usually your type of busy.
Right. I'm not usually the one that's
Usually
busy,
it's
but
me
for
going
some
from
reason,
here to
the
there.
like last week and then this coming weekend is like, oh shit, it's fine. It's all right.
Mm.
Speaking of like,
Oh
finding a
boy.
chance to breathe, I was gonna go into so that was my segue. So speaking of like, trying to be able to catch your breath and take a second to breathe. So I figured that tonight I wanted to talk about things like breath play and choking. And this is all in
Hmm.
a sexual context. I'm going to throw that out there. We've talked about all sorts of different kinks, but I'm not sure that we've actually talked about these things sort of specifically on their own. Like, I
Mm.
think we've talked about it in like the context of different types of kinks and different types of stuff, but I don't think
We've talked
um
about it like in passing.
right, I don't think we've actually kind of really talked about it. And
Mm.
I was at the, I figured, I was at the erotic tent all weekend and got to see demos of, not demos of this, mind you, but different demos of things. And, you know, and I'm like, what should my tip be on? I'm like, you know what? Let's do this because it's kind of new, as far as this anyway. And, you know, we haven't really talked about it. So, that being said, I want to preface this with saying that breath play and choking can be extremely dangerous. And I mean extremely dangerous when participants are inexperienced. This is not something that you should dabble in without doing your research. Um, in fact, just to kind of throw it out there, things like this are actually a federal crime. So if you were to do something and injure
Mm.
somebody or somebody would die, you would go like that. It is illegal in pretty much everywhere. So just keep that in mind if you're like, oh, I want to try this. Like, don't be stupid about this. Like, I'm just. Um. So when we're talking about breath play and when we're talking about things like choking during sex, it's what we're talking about is either the restriction or the controlling of of breath intake, of oxygen intake, or blood flow. And you're like, well, why the fuck is that why is that a thing? Why do people enjoy this? Like, I mean, there's different people like different things. Reducing oxygen to the brain can create hypoxia, which can kind of create this sense of sort of euphoria. And a lot of people enjoy that when you pair it with like an orgasm.
Mm.
It's that lightheaded feeling you get like if you hold your breath for a while, or like that
Oh, like
kind of
when you're
blood rushy
underwater,
feeling. Right. So being
when you hold your breath
choked
underwater.
or strangled during sex has become very popular over the years. We've all seen it. We've seen it in movies. We've seen it in TV shows. Um, and it's kind of taken very lightly, and that's kind of a problem. Like, nobody actually talks about the seriousness of it unless it's like, oh, look, dude was like auto asphyxiated, he was like getting himself off while he was choking himself with it. And people don't really talk about the actual seriousness of what this is. It can be physically and emotionally dangerous if you're not paying attention and if you're not done, if you're not doing it right. Any kind of oxygen deprivation can cause damage to brain cells, cognition, mood, memory. So if you are going to do this, and I am neither recommending nor not recommending, I am neutral on this.
I would
um
say some people have little to no brain cells already, so,
this is true. The play smart regardless. So breath play versus choking. So
mm,
the difference is with breath play, what you're doing is the air intake is being controlled or restricted at the nose and mouth. So with breath play, think of it as either you can use different, there are masks, there are different sort of oxygen type things. You see them sometimes where they have like a full almost rubber or latex head thing, and they've got like almost like a tube that can be restricted.
oh,
You can just do it with your hand by covering the nose and the mouth.
hand.
You can do it with different things that can go around that can restrict the air intake through the nose and the mouth. Choking
Ooh, pause,
is
pause. So,
restrict the blood
there
flow neck. Yes.
is there a safe is there a safe, uh 'cause your mouth is covered, so is there a safe word?
We're getting to that. Stop jumping ahead. So,
Like,
so both breath play and choking must be very carefully negotiated before any play takes place. And this is even more so than any other type of kink. And we've talked about, understanding safety and negotiating scenes and things like that when it comes to any sort of impact play, bondage, things like that. Like this, even more so, like to the nth degree. The NCSF, which is the National Coalition for Sexual Freedom, has developed and expanded on the idea of consent. So it, we all sort of know the concept of no means no, right? So the idea of consent starts with no means no, with no means no. It developed then into safe, sane, and consensual, which means you have to be, in the right headspace. You can't, you have to have all of your faculties and everything has to be above board. And from there, it went to risk aware kink, which is getting much closer to where we want to be, because risk aware kink is you are fully aware of the risks involved, whether it's bondage, whether it's knife play, whether it's whatever it is. And then they've sort of landed on explicit prior permission. Now, the explicit is the key when it comes to this sort of thing, because this is what has to be this is what has to be talked about, this is what has to be negotiated. So when we're talking about explicit prior permission, when it comes to breath play, this has to be talked about ahead of time. So you agree to specific acts and intensity before you start, right? So you're going to talk about, all right, so you want to work, you want to breath play, choking, whatever it is. So you need to lay all of it out. I can handle this much for this long, and then that's it. You agree what role play resistance is okay to ignore. And what that means is outside of your safe word, if you are, and this goes with any sort of kink, right? So outside of your safe word, if you're like, you know, if your partner is like, oh my God, fuck you, that hurts. Stop, what the
Mhm.
hell? Oh, fuck you, you can't fight. That is not, unless otherwise mentioned, that is not the word to stop. That is not the cue to stop activity. That is just, if especially if you happen to be like topping a brat, because the brat's gonna try and egg you on and be like, that doesn't fucking hurt, or oh my God, that really hurts. It's like, no, bitch, shut up. We're gonna, So that's acknowledge that unless the safe word or safe action is used, anything outside of that, you're still fair game. Obviously, you want to check in with things like, the stoplight, red, yellow, green. You're, you know, make sure, especially when you're dealing with anything where either the mouth is going to be restricted, or in a position where being able to vocalize something is not going to happen, safe words and or signals. So the signals can be like, if someone is choking and they have hands around your neck, 3 taps on the elbow. A lot of times it can be, if you have something in your hand, like, okay, we're whatever, something in your hand, if you drop it, that is the safe word. So there are
Mhm.
things that you can set up where you don't have to worry about the person being able to verbalize the safe word. um you have to be of sound
I
mind.
guess this is where yes, and we would like to, greatly encourage that you, are of um, sober mind. Not that you have to be sober living, but sober mind to
Right.
make these decisions as well.
any
Um,
um any reputable dom or top will not suggest that either they are under the influence or that you are under the influence when this is happening, because that is irresponsible and extraordinarily dangerous. um and you need to understand what the person's actual limits are, physically and emotionally, which is why the conversation has to start, because you can't risk seriously injuring someone. So that becomes tricky when you're dealing with choking and breath play, because the risk of seriously injuring someone is much higher than with flogging or paddling or something along those lines. So that's the tricky thing right there. um Choking, like I said, even if it's consensual, is against federal law. So you need to understand that when you go into it. So just know that there are things that um one of the problems is that we see a lot of choking in porn these days. And the problem
Mm.
with that is 9 times out of 10, that is not real. It's role play choking. They're not actually choking the person. The hands are around their neck and they're going, they're not actually choking the person because no production company is going to be okay with the legalities of that. That's not going to happen. So the problem is that, just like with porn in general, is that people are seeing this and they're like, oh, we could totally do that. Come here, let me choke you. And it's like, oh, no, 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 no. That's not, no. That is not how that goes. Um, do not look at what they're doing in porn and think, oh, well, choking is easy and totally fine. Because look at that. They're just like choking everybody and everybody's enjoying it. And that's not how that works. Um,
Jesus Christ.
I but it's the problem with porn in general, right? How often do you see things in porn and then, you get to like the actual whatever it is and you're like, "Oh, that's not how that was supposed to go." No, porn, they're acting. Acting. It's not
Hmm.
real. So don't compare anything that actually happens with what's happening in a porn. Like that's not
Also, sometimes they film like multiple scenes like over
right.
days.
Right. So just don't. Um and there's a line here, but consent is the difference between kinky sex and intimate partner violence. And there have been studies that have been
Oh.
done that have shown that too many people that are predominantly women are actually being choked by their partners without consent. And by their partners are generally men when this happens. But they're watching a porn. The guy's like, "Oh, it's totally hot. Let me just choke you real quick here." And the women don't have an opportunity to consent or not. It just happens. Don't do that. Do not do that ever.
Oh, wow.
Ever. Under no circumstances, no matter how things are going, do you put your hands on somebody and
Mhm.
decide to choke them or restrict their breathing in any way, shape, or form without explicit consent prior. No. Um, and you have to I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to reiterate this over and over and over again. Remember, when it comes to breath play, erotic asphyxiation, anything like that, the risks are much higher than with most other kinky sex acts. You like we're yeah. So you might be asking yourself, then, if it's so fucking risky, what do people get out of it? Like what do people find hot about this?
Mhm.
Because why? Like, why would you want to put yourself at risk? So here's some of the things that kind of draw people to this kind of play. So the physiological aspect of it, um, the restriction and then the release of oxygen and blood flow can cause a release of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. So it gives you that high. Like, and that's, it's like, oh, you get that head rushy feeling that, ooh, damn. There's the sort of psychological aspect to it where if you enjoy power play, regardless of whether you are on the dominating or the submissive side of that, that is like a key part of it, because that power exchange is very much a part of that kind of play, and a lot of people really enjoy that. And then there's the physical aspects of it, and this is where it can be so immediately after choking or breath play, your body might actually confuse those rush of endorphins and hormones as pleasure. So you're you've had oxygen withheld, or you've been choked, so the blood flow has been restricted, and then immediately after you get that rush of, oh shit. And what it is it's actually your body going into, "Oh my god, I need to protect myself" mode. So what you think is pleasure
Oh,
isn't
wow.
actually pleasure, but you think it's pleasure, which is why folks a lot of times like to sort of combine that kind of play with an orgasm, because if you can get the orgasm at the same time you have that rush of endorphins, it's like the ultimate high,
Mm.
you know.
And
So
is that why some people become addicted to it?
absolutely. So because why do people get addicted to like mind altering drugs, right? It's because it gives you that rush, it gives you that high. The problem is, just like with other mind altering substances,
Mhm.
you tend to, once you kind of get addicted to it, you can start pushing the limits more. And that's where it becomes dangerous. Just like, you keep chasing that high with, you start with coke and then you go to heroin and then you start mixing things and then you know what I mean, just to keep, you start doing more and
Which we
more and
don't
more just
promote.
to get that high. And the same thing can happen here with the all the release of the endorphins and the serotonin and the dopamine and all of that. You're like, oh god, well I'll never be able to like, I'll never be able to reach that same type of orgasm again. I need to be able to do this. So you do it more, you do it longer, you push those limits, which can really start
Mm.
being dangerous. Um, so what can you do if you want to, you've seen it done properly, and you're like, I don't know, maybe I want to try this. Maybe, there are things that can happen that you can do that will put you in a better space to be able to do this. So education is huge, and not just learning about kink in general, but anatomy. So you want to learn about the anatomy of the neck, head, and chest. This will actually help you understand the limits of pressure and force, where to put your hands, belts, scarves, whatever you're using. Do not ever start full force on something. You need to, incremental increases will help you avoid injury. Start small, start slow. Communication. Nonverbal
Hmm.
safety cues. Like I said, tapping, holding something and, dropping it. Anything that you can do that is nonverbal that will indicate to your partner that you are done. You have to understand the side effects that could result in this type of play, and the lesser of the side effects are things like coughing, disorientation, muscle weakness, numbness, drowsiness, loss of coordination. You need to pay attention to your body if you're doing these things and know when you're going to have to, call 911 or go to the ER or whatever. There are some major risks involved, and we've talked about some of them, but it will the risks when you play with this type of kink are can be major. So we're literally talking about things like brain damage because you're withholding oxygen.
Very life altering.
Right. A damaged larynx. If you are putting your hands in the wrong area and you squeeze too hard, you could damage the larynx. Aspiration. So if you have that head rush, a lot of times it can make people disoriented, which can actually cause vomiting. And if you are on your back or in some other prone position, if you vomit and then inhale that back in, you could literally drown yourself in your own vomit. You don't want to do that. Heart attack and
Mhm.
hemorrhage in the eyeball. You could literally cause a hemorrhage in your eyeball that could result in a loss of sight. So again, I am neither recommending nor dissuading any of this. Like, I am just giving you facts and information, because if people are going to do shit anyway, and if people are going to do shit anyway, I would rather people do it with knowledge and education and with the right tools and resources to be able to do it as safely as one can when dealing with something on this level. So there you go.
Um, Something I did wanna say is that, if you have been forcefully, uh, put into
Yes.
these positions without consent, that maybe you should reach out to like, um, gosh, my brain has gone blank, but domestic violence,
Mhm.
um, like counseling, or and or depending on the situation. I'm not here to give advice. I am not of that sound mind to give you that advice, but to reach out and figure out a way to either figure out a solution between you and your partner, or get out. And I know
Yes.
that it's easier said than done. So I'm just saying that because I do know that we've had some incidents in our community where people have been in places where they've been against their own consent, and
Yeah.
that does not even in the queer community, as much as people act like rainbows don't have hurt,
Thing.
there.
Also, off topic, I want to apologize for like my sniffling. It happens when I have like makeup in my nose. Because I'm like my
Oh,
nose
we're
is all
both doing it.
itchy and I'm so yeah. So just as an FYI,
I
I'm
just
not
been
like
kind of.
I know. It's like it makes me sniffle and I'm like, oh shit, scratch the inside of my nose with my pen.
Well, and
Um,
plus, when you paint it black, you don't want like the inside of your nose to be like a whole like different color.
right. So you paint on the inside, but then it tickles my nose. So yeah.
This is for you.
Right. Right.
On. I didn't even hear it stop. That's weird. I'm just sitting here playing with my hair. Uh, uh, imagine this: going and uplifting your whole life and for someone, and then when you get there, they hand you a letter and they dump you.
So I'm wondering
So,
why this is news because I'm like I think this is the dumbest shit ever. First of all, who the fuck like does that without ever like actually meeting the person or whatever? Like I I find this stupid,
and they were together for
extraordinarily
3 years.
stupid.
So, a
I don't
TikTok
understand why this
user
is news.
went pretty much viral as she moved across country for love, only to get dumped via handwritten note saying they were incompatible. Um, in this video, and I didn't want to play the video because um, I'm not gonna give you more views. We barely get the views we get. I'm just kidding. Anyway, um, so this in her video, the singer and content creator, her name is Sprightly, talks about her leaving her life and her improv troupe. This is important. In LA to move to Texas with her boyfriend. And like it shows her like setting up her furniture, her whatever. And her boyfriend said that he wanted to be closer to his dad. Uh, she spent her savings on this move, and they she thought, I think, that they had a future together. He obviously had other plans. Handed her a note and said that they'd never had anything in common and they were incompatible. And then, like, at the end of the video, she basically says that she uplifted her life again and moved in with her mother in Florida, which sounds disastrous. But
I have like I
yeah.
don't understand. Like, okay, look, I watch a lot of reality TV. I watch 90 Day Fiance. This isn't news. This is stupid. You're an idiot. I don't know what to tell you. Don't do shit. I'm just saying, like, fucking
But
stupid.
have you ever done something and you think, oh, this is going to be great? And then somebody's like, oh, no, that's not what I expected. And you're like,
Almost every
well,
relationship I've ever been in, but you
what am
know
I
what? You
doing?
fucking move on. That's what fucking happens. Like, what the fuck? Do not
Uh,
understand why this
it
is
was interesting to
news.
me. It was interesting to me. Don't yell in my ear. It was interesting to me. Uh, but I thought the interesting part was that he hand wrote her a note when obviously these things exist. Remember, we were talking about
Well,
communication
good
that I
for
don't know how to use.
him. Good for him for
Um,
writing a note. I think that's very nice of him.
I was like, wow, he
It
knows
was
how
like
to
that extra
handwrite.
person. That was that extra personal touch.
Oh, and a not so personal touch. Mm, mm. So, the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, or Finch,
Fitch.
uh, is this going around? Is there like some secret realm of rich people
It's this again.
doing
This shit isn't new either. This is like all that's happening now is because of things like the interwebs. It's just becoming easier to find shit out. That's all this is. Like,
well? It was surprising to me um, that he had like 16 counts and was luring people in as like, oh, I'll give you a modeling deal, and then like leaving them out to dry basically after having sex with them.
I'm not
I just thought,
surprised that
wow.
like if you watch any of the like the documentaries on Abercrombie and Fitch, I'm not surprised at all. Like the fact that this dude was running like a sex trafficking operation. Not surprised
Well,
at all.
it was oh, okay. Well, on to the next.
The guy's a skis ball, like he always has been.
I think we talked about this last week, but if you have an early ballot, if you have a mail-in ballot, make sure you vote, 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 and I will keep saying that until uh, I am blue in the face. Not tonight, though. But about 18 million votes have been submitted so far, um, and like we said last week, that's better than when we were going into the pandemic when it seemed like basically nobody was going to the polls, and it seems that they're predicting that um, up to 70% of the votes in Georgia uh, will be in before election day. That's early voting. So people
Yeah,
are
we need to
showing
send
up.
ours back. We have all of ours. We just need to fill them out and send them in.
Yeah. So, um, but don't get complacent. I have seen people posting about not being complacent, and they are correct. Um, Big turnouts for Republicans voting for. We're orange tonight, but we do not support orange. Um, but Republicans are coming out in strong numbers. But either way, to make your vote count, go, 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 go. I do not want to hear anybody complaining. If you say, "Oh, I just don't do the political thing,"
Yeah,
girl, get out. You're done.
we've talked about that,
It,
how that's like a
at this
huge
point,
red
we're over
flag
that.
just in general. You know, great for you that you have enough privilege that you're like, I'm just not political. Fuck you. Don't care, don't want to hear it. Don't want to
No,
fucking hear it. No, don't want to fucking hear it
but
at
yeah.
all.
So
Mm-mm.
definitely don't want to hear that at all. At all. Uh, boop 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 doo. This is the only one that I got a photo for.
Eh,
Missy Elliott and Queen Latifah uh, were honored with the National Medals of Arts, and they're the first rappers to receive this honor.
That's awesome.
President Joe Biden recognized 39 individuals for their exceptional
What a weird number.
contributions.
39, not 40. We couldn't fucking make it 40, 39. Why 39? What a weird number.
Um, Contributions to the arts during a special ceremony on Monday at the White House. Among the 39 honorees, they also included Spike Lee, LeVar Burton, uh, and the late Selena, and Eva Longoria.
The
Missy
fuck is
Elliott,
Eva
which
Longoria done?
uh, I didn't read into that. I just saw that her name was on there. Um, Missy was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it has also made history. And I think we talked about this on the show uh, by having the first hip hop song transmitted into space. It-
Yes.
yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It was in one of the articles that I read. Um, but something that kept popping up on news feeds, uh, that I think is becoming like and it's becoming more, I don't wanna say popular, that's a gross word for this, but, keeps popping up everywhere is, like this pink cocaine,
Mm,
and it tends not to have any cocaine in it at all. It's just like a what I wanna say is this, um it's like just a mix of things, but, a cocktail is that ketamine?
ketamine.
Yeah, and ecstasy,
Mm.
um, and there's no particular, like, um, consistency or recipe, and it just seems to be on the rise, and they believe that, it has a few connections to celebrities, because they have easier access to it, but, and has resulted in some of their, tragic deaths, including the one that has just been blown up all over the news already. But, it seems that, like it's weird how, like, things come in and then they're, like, here, and
Right.
then they do such damage, and then, like, all of a sudden, you're like, "What the f where did this come from?"
So
And
the
who
problem, the general rule of thumb here, kids, is don't put shit in your body unless you know where it comes from. Um,
Mhm,
there, we have like fentanyl strips and stuff that you can test, but there's, unless you know where you are getting your drugs, don't fucking put it in your nose. Don't put it in your veins. Don't smoke it. Don't do dumb shit. Um, I have, I don't know. I would have like I would have assumed that we would have grown past this shit by now, but
mm-mm.
you know, what the fuck? What do I know? People are still doing incredibly stupid things that are completely preventable, but we're still gonna put things up our noses, and even though we don't know where it comes from, here, do this drug right here. Okay, I'm gonna snort this shit. Oh God, what's happening? Oh my God, like don't there. I don't know. I maybe it's because I've never been into the hard stuff that I'm like the risks don't outweigh the
Mhm.
benefits, and like cocaine was super cool in the 70s and 80s, and then it kind of like it dropped off for a little bit, and 90s was we had ecstasy that came more into the thing. Now they're just making whatever. They're just mixing
And
shit. They're
mixing it.
just putting whatever because they go with whatever's cheap. And if it's cheaper to do like a hybrid, or if it's cheaper to do
I read
whatever,
one report that, this pink cocaine, they found, like, pieces of plastic,
it doesn't surprise me.
and I'm like, "What the fuck?" They're
They'll grind whatever the fuck up, hand it to somebody, and people are stupid. I'm just gonna say it. People are fucking stupid and will just snort whatever, especially if it comes from a supposed trusted source.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus.
so I you know, here
I don't
I'm gonna
even
go
like
out and
being on
get some
prescription.
shit, right? So I'm gonna go out and get some shit from some dude because somebody's like, hey, you know, I really want some party favors or whatever. Okay, let me go get stuff. I don't have a connection, so I'm gonna find somebody. Eh, you know, here, have this thing, put it in your nose. Okay, like
Yikes.
it's stupid. Flat
I
out,
just
it's
have
stupid.
never been that person.
No.
Never.
I like I said, the risks do not the benefits do not outweigh the risks for me. It's
Mhm.
there's too many issues. Shit can be laced with too much shit, you know, and you're gonna, you know, you endanger yourself, you endanger others. I don't know. I've always thought it was dumb, but you know, what the fuck do I know? Maybe I'm just a bad gay because I don't snort shit.
Well, sign me up. I'm a bad gay too, because I no. No, thank
Like
you.
there's some things that I'm like back, you know, back in the day, you know, I can't smoke weed or do edibles or anything like that right now because I'm a lightweight and it just puts me to sleep, so it's no fucking fun. Um Back in the day, like in like high school and then like my 20s, occasionally I would do like ecstasy, but nothing crazy. And it was always
Mm.
in a controlled environment with people that I actually trusted. Um, but I haven't done anything in forever that was like harder than like an edible or a part of an edible. Um, so,
Ooh,
but it's like,
partying hard over there.
and like back in the day, like, yes, there was, you would come across some bad shit on occasion, but I think it's gotten worse now between lacing things with fentanyl, putting whatever the fuck people find into whatever. Like, I think it's just, it has gotten worse than I think it has ever been. And it's a
And people
problem.
become addicted and
If they
basically
survive,
trash. Yeah.
if they survive, if they
Well,
don't end
they
up with some sort of
lately they
permanent
haven't been.
damage.
They have
Right.
not. So, anyhow, sorry to end on a sour note, but
Mm.
let's talk about gigs. Um,
Ooh. So we got shit happening. This weekend, this is gonna be so much fun. We did this last year, and it's just it's a blast. And y'all have to know that everything in the escape room is
doable.
built by Jeremy Bright, like by himself. Like he does this shit. It's fucking amazing. But if you're not doing anything
Like
Friday,
everything.
seriously, Friday and Saturday, the Ripple Phoenix Carnival is happening at Stacy's. It's fun. There's the escape room. There's like carnival games. There's drag shows. There's some food. It's a good time. It's a good time. You should definitely go check it out. It supports a bunch of different organizations. Different organizations man like the different booths. So when you go and play a game over here, you're supporting like this organization. When you go play this game over here, you're supporting this
Mhm.
organization. It's a fun time. It is a good time. Great people watching too.
And costume contest.
Yes, with like what, $2,400 in prizes
Yeah.
and shit.
So
Like,
I might not be employed at that time.
right? We're both gonna
Um,
quit. We're quitting right now. We'll come back later, but we're quitting right now.
um, but last year was so much fun. Um, and they have the 360 thing, which that was fun watching people.
Yes, we'll have to
Uh,
do that again.
yeah. So join us. And there's a chance to if you get HIV or STI training testing,
This thing.
um, is it you get to go to
It's
the
the
free
If you are one
screening?
of the first 100 people that get some sort of HIV service, whether it's, you know, testing or whatever, you get tickets to a private screening for Wicked when it comes out. So that'll be super fun. And yes, it is all happening at Stacy's. The entire like parking lot basically gets transformed.
It's taken over.
Yeah.
Like takeover.
Yeah.
It's all yeah. Like, you can't imagine that the little parking lot is this, but, um, I feel like Jeremy has so much, imagination that he made it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. It's
Yes, the 360 thing is
like
like like how at
the
weddings,
360 photo booth thing.
the camera spins around like 3 times and you have to, like, dance and pose
Something.
in front of it.
It's weird.
You know.
Makes me
You
nauseous, but
know.
it's fun. So on the 26th, that's Saturday, so before the
You are a glutton for punishment.
carnival, I will be at the Brick Road Trunk or Treat. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Um, at like 5 o'clock, I think, is when I will be there ish. Um, and that's always fun. It's going most of the evening. Um,
Mhm.
there's like different organizations and folks are going to be out there. I think Bra has they're setting up to trunk or treat. Um, and Brick Road Coffee is, of course, a queer owned business. So I always suggest going over and supporting them anyway. It's in Tempe. It's great. Um, and it's super fun. There's like, there'll be go get candy. That's all. That's the only reason I'm going. I want candy. Um, on on October 29th, which is Tuesday, I am doing a virtual drag story hour that's going to be sponsored by Plume, which is a gender affirming trans healthcare provider. If you go to their Instagram, you can go. There's a link on their profile. You can go and register. But I'm doing a little spooky story hour for them. It's a public event. You just have to register to do it, and I'm doing that with National Drag Story Hour, not Drag Story Hour Arizona. So that'll be super fun. So if you have nothing better to do, I think it's at 4 p.m. Pacific. I believe that's what time it starts. Something like that. It's on their web. Look for Plume, Plume, um, on the social media, and all their stuff is there. And go register, spread the word. It should be fun.
And into the
Um,
future.
right. And that's all for October.
And
November, I
yeah,
give
go
people
for
a
it.
heads up, I'm hosting the Queer Center Fall Fest, which is happening at Newtown. That's always a good time. That's super fun. And then on November 15th, um, Drag
Oh, I'm
Bingo and
sorry I can't
Cats
make
will
it.
now be hosted by myself and Justin Sider, who I decided to rope in with because he loves cats. So,
And is not allergic to cats.
and is not allergic to cats. Well, might be allergic to cats, but doesn't care.
The
Um,
fuck?
they have cats, so yeah.
Okay.
Um, and I think there's still a couple tickets left, but
It goes
they're almost
fast.
yeah, they're
So
almost done. Um, so if you want to come out to Drag Bingo and Cats on November 15th, make sure that you get your ticket ASAP. Otherwise, they're gonna sell out, and then I don't want to fucking hear it. But come play with me and Justin because that should be fun. And then in December, I have all my thespian stuff, which I will be posting that as it gets closer to, because tickets will then go on sale. We're shooting for November 1st, and I will have a code for everyone for when you decide to buy your tickets to come watch me in the Christmas Carol. Um,
oh, when
which
should I go?
talk to my partner. Um,
She's still
she's
on here.
planning a group, but I would recommend, if you're able to like go more than once, go more than once, because the way that this show works, like it's like a almost like a living breathing thing. And like you like if you go see it once and then go see it again, there will be things that'll be like different and stuff, just because of the way that the show is. So if you're able to go more than once, I highly recommend it. So go do the thing. Drag Bingo and Cats is at the Phoenix Cat Cafe, which is
Which
like
you've been
third.
there before?
Right, you've literally been there, Suzette.
You haven't put
Literally,
anything together?
she's
Okay.
working on it.
All right, Madam Secretary, I'm waiting.
But the plan is to get a bunch of people together to go as a group or whatever. But Yes, I would yeah. I would say if you can go a couple of times, if you can go like sometime like in the middle while all the kinks get worked out from the beginning, and then go again like closing night, that would be awesome. Oh my god, I would love to have
You're
like a
asking
bunch
me
of
for to
people
come
there.
2
Um,
nights? Oh my god.
I would love to have people there on closing night for me because that would be yes. I'm doing a Christmas Carol.
See, if you
I
were
am
part of
doing
our
it
Patreon, you would know that already.
right, right.
Jeez.
Um, I am the ghost of Christmas Present in All Queer Shakespeare. We are doing a sort of a queer retelling of Christmas Carol. And it's fantastic and I'm very excited. So yeah, we'll be
Um, D, I just want you to know that Suzette now has, put herself on the list, so we're sitting here waiting for you.
so yeah. So that's what I've got going on. How am I more busy than you right now?
I'm okay with it right now because
Mm.
work is, um, busy.
Yeah, work is busy for me too, and I'm really trying to like win the lottery, but that hasn't happened yet, and it's extraordinarily transphobic.
You and me both. If at any
Rude.
point we win the lottery, we can, we can do something. We could do a podcast where we travel abroad. How about that?
I would enjoy that. Yes,
Yeah,
I would
just
enjoy that.
go anywhere. We'll be like, "Oh, well, today we're in Thailand." Um,
I would enjoy that. Yeah,
but
I
will we
would
have
look
to keep a
forward to that.
schedule?
But you can't win the same lottery I win because then I'd have to give you some, and I don't want to. I don't want to split it with people. I want to win the lottery, and then you can win another
Oh,
lottery.
oh, oh. Well, beggars can't be choosers.
Mm.
So, with that being said, thanks for joining us for tonight's conversation. Since I'll be winning the lottery by myself, rude, or I'll just be the broke ass one. He'll be off somewhere else.
I'll be live from like, Europe somewhere and you'll be here.
I swear to God, you make me do this rebranding over again. I will. No. Mm-mm.
Uh,
I will jump in a suitcase.
it's
I don't
fine.
even care.
I'll still do this. I'll just be like in Belgium or something, in Tokyo.
Just sipping your little espresso.
Mm.
Mm-mm. Thanks for all that have watched live, including on Facebook since it's working.
Now it's working.
Um, um, it didn't give me an error this time. That's why I wasn't too worried. But it did it like that last season. Just find a new Freddy. Oh,
No such
whoa,
thing.
whoa!
I am
Your partner is
irreplaceable.
your
Like
partner is
Beyonce.
putting you out.
I am Oh. Okay,
Wow.
well, I'm gonna tell the kids that you think I'm easily replaceable and we'll see what happens.
Oh my god, you were trying to create hysteria. The kids will not let you. What?
Mm, mm. That's all right. Dee already said that she can do all the things by herself, and I said, "Oh, okay." So now that she has said that and she has maintained that she can do all the things by herself, I
Does
will now
she
be taking
mean
a
does
step.
she really mean that?
Yep, she said it. And I'm not I mean, I'm one to
Including the
believe
cooking?
it. When a woman says something, I am, I will defer to her because, you know, uh,
Including the cooking.
women who are strong and independent women,
Sorry.
they know
Can
their
you
own minds.
can you
So,
verify with and clarify and confirm that she
she
now is gonna be cooking?
mhm, she says so.
Oh, your kids are gonna turn over. I want you to know that.
Uh,
I just want you to know.
but it's you know what? It's great though because that means I get to relax a little bit when we do Friendsgiving because I'll just be able to sit back and chill, and I'll give her the menu though so that she can,
I can't believe you just typed that in the comments. Oh my
She
god.
did. I mean, the kids said that it was fine.
Oh,
Fine.
I
They
have
were
also
fine.
okay. I've been in the room when the kids are talking about his cooking. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed us, and we'll see you back here next week. Um, Freddie may be living in the drag cave, but
It's fine.
yeah. And we will see you next week.
Good night.